First off, I gotta say, I am super excited to welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway. Let's make this one trip we will never forget.
My name's Will Byles. I'm the creative director of a game called Until Dawn, which is kind of like a horror movie that you play through. You play all 8 characters who are stranded up on a mountain. All of them can live. All of them can get killed horribly, and when you are dead in this game, you stay dead. So there are definitely aspects of Until Dawn that are a real tribute to a lot of horrors that have gone on before. It's a very interesting social setup about how the slasher works. Everybody knows the rules. Everybody knows what's going on. There's no surprise that you couldn't think of. But what we wanted to do was to take that. We wanted to take the genre, we wanted to take the characters to be exactly the characters you'd imagine. They're not very likable. They start off a little bit kind of, I don't want to give away the story, but they're kind of not particularly pleasant. They're very transparent. They're very cliched. And as the game goes on, as the story goes on, we start to pull away the building blocks of everything you know about that and try to break that down. And the characters change, and the characters' personalities literally can change depending on what you do. Their relationships can change, and if a relationship changes in that sort of environment, that can be really dangerous. That can be like that can be a matter of life and death. So that's what we tried to do with that.
And we should look for the others.
Mike and Jess are off 69ing each other, and who knows where Sam is.
I think she's in the lodge.
Fine, you're right. Get everyone else together, but if there's a maniac running around, I think we need to get some help too, right? Not just wait around.
There's a level of horror, it kind of came to a kind of a peak with things like Final Destination, where the deaths are almost ridiculous. They're so graphic and so mental. They make you laugh. And we kind of wanted a bit of that, not fully. I mean, we didn't want to go completely insane, but we did want people to kind of to wince and then laugh, not to vomit and and be really ill, but just to have that level of release. With horror, you have this thing where the amount of fear that we can generate, as soon as you got past that, people seem to laugh, and that's the important thing for us. Is you get that real scare, and then especially if you're playing it with your friends or family, that you laugh afterwards. So. In order to get the fear completely right in Until Dawn, we did a bunch of stuff. We broke it down to 3 areas, and we didn't break it down, actually. A bunch of clever people did this before. And the 3 areas of fear that they describe as terror, horror, and gore. In order to kind of test that, to make sure we got it right, we did tests with a galvanic skin response on users. And it measures the amount of liquid, water on their skin. And if they perspire because they're nervous, it lets us know how scared they are. So the music was written by a fantastic composer called Jason Graves, who's just brilliant. He did Dead Space and a number of other games, and he's an amazing composer. And he's written all of these themes for different parts of the game. When people die in this game, there's a lovely kind of bit of like angelic music that just plays through. It's really kind of subtle. It's like most people won't see it, but it really gives you a feeling of like a spirit leaving the body. The best thing to do is to get as much information as you can. All the way through the game, there are clues, there are these totems that give you little sort of premonitions of a possible future. The more of that you get, the more informed your decisions will be. Also, every decision you make, don't just think of it as that's the decision. That's a decision, a bit like chess, where you kind of put something down, you've got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. If you do that, you're much more likely to be A, better informed for your decisions, and B, more likely to survive.